All right. Good day, good day, good day. So, Dad's in recovery. Here we go again. This message today is a little bit more about my personal experience. How did this all come together and whatnot? I have three kids, and quite a while ago, it was like along in the 90s, when I was a really active dad. My kids were young, and I had just gotten a divorce from my first lovely wife, and met another gal, and quite quickly, and all of a sudden we were in a family way, and um, it was. I remember thinking, uh, I'm really going to screw this up. I didn't really have a I didn't really have a dad image. I didn't know what I was doing in the job, and just going to put my phone on do not disturb because I just got a call and airplane mode. So I was kind of, I didn't know what to do. I maybe if I had been watching, I would have been getting some cues from the dads in my life, but I hadn't been. I mean, here I was, a self-centered, uh, alcoholic in early recovery, and so I wasn't really all that good at the job, or I didn't think I was anyway. I was scared. I was uh, terrified. My daughter at the time would have been about 13, and I was like, damn, I don't know what I'm doing. And her brother, my first son, would have been about 10. And then all of a sudden we had a new guy. And I never got married in the first place to get divorced, but that's what happened. And so I went looking around, and I don't know if I can say that I went looking around or God sent me some men, and I found a group, and kind of went the long way. But there weren't any groups around of dads in recovery, and I didn't have any role models to speak of at the time, and there were no benchmarks. I didn't know if I was doing a good job, and some of you men will relate to this. Be like, am I doing this right? How and a lot of my lead I was taking from the women in my life, the two mums, and they're great. They were amazing. They were super mums. They both of them, and but they weren't dads, and so there was a lot of confusion on my part, and that's what I did, and I went and took courses, and I did the men's weekend, several men's weekends, and the group I got hooked up with, we did campouts with the boys and with with our kids and stuff like that. I got lucky. I really did, and this is part of why this has come together is that I see around me lots and lots of men. Gosh, I have an example of a guy. I won't say his name, but he lived here once, and he was single when he lived here, and then we got hooked up with a gal, and they left. He left, moved in, got you know they had a child, and now they're already separated and divorced, and I'm like, damn, I know he doesn't know you know how to do the job, but he's concerned, and I know there's hundreds, probably thousands of dads out there. Recently, I was talking to a dad, who hadn't talked to his kids in 10 years. And so these men are hurting and the kids are hurting. And I don't have all the answers, but I think that we're going to shine the light where in the corners of this thing, and look at it. We're going to help men to see, their relationships with their own dads. And hey, Rob, nice to see you, buddy. I love you. And this is for you. And to help men to see the relationship with their own dads, and help them to look at the relationships with moms, the mothers of their kids. And so we're gonna, and it's just not a one-time deal either. If you read the notes on this, I just this is the beginning. This one day seminar is the beginning, and I see us doing stuff together with our kids. You know, and one of the things that I do remember about my dad is he had men friends. and they went out and did stuff together. I mean, they were all drinking and stuff, but still, he did have men friends. They went hunting together, and they golfed together, and he had men friends, and those men friends came around, and I knew them. And I think that's good for our kids to know that we have men friends and that they know our men friends. And so I want to help create that going forward from this 1 day event. So that's it. There isn't any men who are dads that don't qualify for this, but I want to speak with every man who's going to come on this day, and help set the context for them in coming for this single day. And so yeah, we're gonna that's an important part of it. I want you guys to call me, and we're gonna just talk about the day and talk about, I want to know how many kids you have. That day, I want to be able to talk about, hey, we've got 75 men and 300 kids. The kids won't be there, but they'll be there in spirit, and I want to know also how many mums are involved. We could have 75 men and 150, right? And hello, Arlene Nevers. I know a Nevers from New Brunswick. And nice to see you. So, yeah, how many women that, are the mothers of these kids? I want to know those numbers, and I want to be able to include them in our prayers that day. So that's the deal. That's our coming up the 29th of March, and together we're going to shine the light on the whole relationship with our kids and to see ourselves, and that's, I think being together and seeing other men and being part of what I'm planning to do that day. So it's a, 1 day we're going to start at 9 sharp, so we'll be there from 8:30 that morning. And yes, I do know Doreen. Hey, Arlene, I know Doreen well. We went to school together in Moncton. Love you. Thank you. Um, so yeah, we're gonna start early and go to about 4:30, and it'll be a full day, and I'm looking forward to it. I really am. So get in touch with me. I'm not the tech guy. I'm good at this, but I'm not the tech guy. And so if I could use a couple of tech guys, a little tech support. If anybody is listening and says, "Hey, David, yeah, I can help with tech," I'd like that. And I'm also looking for a camera guy. We're going to video, and those of you who don't want to be in video, that'll be fine. That will be the case. But I want to keep a record of what we're doing, and so I need a camera guy. And that's it. We got some other help, but it's going to be great. Yeah, and I'm going to just keep talking about it. But the benchmark, eh? I mean, so many of us, there is no benchmark, and when we get together in a group, we're going to see ourselves, and the benchmark will become more apparent over time. Okay, love you guys, and love that. The response I've got so far, nobody says, "Oh, this is a terrible idea to support dads in recovery." Nobody says that. Everybody says, "Wow, David, this is great." And so if you're not a dad in recovery, but you know one, point them towards us. And there's lots of work to do. Lots of kids growing up without their dads, and I want to help stop that. I want to help get them back together in whatever way it can be done. So that's my job, my vision, and my purpose. And it's really about the kids. Okay. Love you guys so much. Cheers.